and welcome again to our Star Trek Adventures Modiphius powered continuing mission, where the crew of the USS Athena is getting a taste of what action in the void is actually like. Science, fun. Phasers and Klingon photon torpedoes, less so, but damn, it could be more exciting. But before we go forward, we have to go back. Let's see all of our friends. Let's talk to them and figure out who they are, who they'll be playing. And let's start directly below me with the captain in formal dress. Summer, how are you, my friend? And who will you be playing today?
I am doing fantastic. I've been doing little else except for thinking about this and having high key stress over it. But I am very excited. And today I will be playing your captain, Elsie Locke. Having the best time. This is the best day for her.
Great, great. And Captain Elsie is ready to take the Athena and save and command this crack crew that displayed both science and skill last week. And speaking of science, let's jump right over to our science officer. Hawk, how are you doing, my friend? And who will you be playing?
Oh, I am doing fine, recovering from Gen Con hangover and stuff like that. I am Kentucky Hawkeye, and I will be playing Malachi Jabez. He's the Chief Science Officer, and he is a Trill, not completely by choice.
Not completely by choice. Ominous. I love it. And speaking of which, I'm not sure who's in that box. It's supposed to be Allison. I'll switch that in a second, but I'm still not sure who that is. I'm going to go ahead and say, Steve, who will you be playing tonight? And let us know what you think.
Hey, what's up? I play Ensign Soba, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pass out at some point from this thing because I can't breathe. So I'm breathing out of my nose, and I'm pretty sure when I take this thing off, there's going to be a big rash. So let's get this thing going, please.
All right. Welcome to Star Trek, everybody, where you get rashes and die from your cosplay. All right. And now let's go backwards to go forward. Lieutenant Quinn, how are you doing, Allison? Who are you going to be playing? And thank goodness you're not a Ferengi.
Yeah, no cosplay rash, hopefully. Hey everybody, it's Allison. I play Lieutenant Candor Quinn, who is the Chief Engineer of the USS Athena, currently working really hard to avert a warp core breach, but hey, that's just in a day's work for a Starfleet engineer.
You're rocking it. You're doing great.
Another day, another breach.
Right. At some point, probably a week or two into any chief engineering gig, the warp core breach, it doesn't hold as much luster as it did. But
so warp core breach must be Tuesday. I don't know.
Right. We'll see exactly how we think about that in a very short period of time, as we jump straight up from Ensign Soba to Lieutenant Commander Nat Nealon. Lauren, how are you doing, my friend? And who are you playing? And again, hopefully no rashes.
Thanks for that. No rashes here. I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Nat Nealon, who's half Betazoid, half Tellarite. She has no weapons right now, which is fun for the tactical officer, and no secrets. The end.
The end. No secrets, because secrets in Star Trek, boy, they don't mix. Anyway, who am I today? I'm Grimjack, but today for this game mastering session, I will blessedly reprise my role as Q, as per the donation that was gifted last week. And with that donation and with the arrival of Q, the crew of the USS Athena NCC 1933, life will get progressively more exciting. But where were we? Well, in a nutshell, the USS Athena and her sister ship, the USS Artemis, were tasked with mapping and surveying the Great Shackleton Expanse. And if there was a point in the universe where the action was furthest from, they found it. And as they would go through the two only ships in the sector, they were with the only 2 ships in the sector, they were able to map and see everything that was going on. Science, engineering, loves that type of thing. And with the shared mapping came a joint holographic creation called the Portrait. That was a 3D rendering of the Expanse that basically showed everything that they were going to do and had already accomplished. However, the Borg have arrived, and science and exploration have fallen in the wayside next to defense and aggression. And so their time here on the Expanse is limited, as both the Artemis and Athena are scheduled to be decommissioned. And during a fun activity between the 2 crews as they raced to see who could collect that day's data, the Athena won. And for her victory, she received a sneak attack by not 1, but 2 Klingon birds of prey. Severely injured, warp engines offline, weapons offline, shields failing. Through the collected efforts of the entire crew, the ship was able to creep towards the Shackleton Expanse. And as we left our last episode, the nose of the Athena had just breached the Shackleton Expanse. And it just so happens, at that very moment, the warp engines come back online. My bridge crew, give me a location. I know that we have our chief engineer in a Jeffries tube right now. Where's everyone else?
In my chair, obviously.
At the tactical station.
At the helm, right in front of the captain.
I am just arriving to engineering after leaving cartography and trying to communicate with Artemis through Portrait.
Okay, so you had reached main engineering. All of you experience the same thing that happens. As the entrance into the Shackleton Expanse occurs, which is basically like a bleed or a wave of liquid across the ship as it pierces the clouds of the nebula, the warp engines kick online, sending the ship into warp speed. As soon as it hits warp speed, you all immediately feel a drag to the left, and instead of a star field in front of you, you see a swirl of red and purple. As you look to the crewmates around you, seated beside you, standing in engineering, you notice that as they move to look at you, a trail of their face will streak and then catch up to them. When you move your hand, it moves, leaving a trail that will eventually catch up to the digits in the appendage. When you hear yourself speak, even in your head, you can hear with perfect resonance as if you were outside of your own body. The tonality has changed, the lights have changed. The sparks that were flying through the air with the normal arc and fall of electrical discharge are now suspended like stars in the bridge and in engineering. The Athena is reeling. Something is very wrong. But that's not my job to figure out. I just have to ask you all, what do you do?
I try to go through every memory that my symbiont Jabez has to see if there's anything recorded in history that resembles what's going on.
Sure. Why don't you roll for me? What do you think you should roll for this one? I'm going to pop up your...
Let's see. I would say probably... I'd want to go with reason, but probably insight is probably more appropriate.
Yep, that's
insight
exactly what
science.
I was going to say. Insight science, yeah, insight, and then the subject of specialization. So insight science sounds good. Yep.
Okay. Applicable focus. Let's see. For my focus, I want to use. Let's see. What can I have here? Nope, nothing's going to work there.
Difficulty of 2. From the engineering station, you do not have access to the bridge, so you're going basically off the trails that you see. Something inside of you says that this is the type of characteristics of slipping out of a warp field and into a wormhole.
Ooh. I immediately hit my communicator to contact the captain.
Oh yeah, we're here.
Yep, go
Jabez to
straight through.
Captain Locke.
Go ahead, Jabez.
If my observations are correct, I think we may have just slipped into a wormhole.
She looks over at Soba. Obviously, she's very clearly stressed, considering they just left behind the Artemis. That's what she's like most mainly concerned about. Soba, do you think you can get us out of this thing and get us back? We can't just leave them behind.
Captain, I do not know what is going on here. Can I make any kind of con check?
Yeah, go right ahead and give me I'm going to go with a control con here for you, as you are attempting to, this isn't anything daring, you're just trying to figure out what the heck's going on at your station.
Okay. Can I check if we're being followed as well?
That's a sensor sweep. You
Okay.
can't.
Oh, wait, that's wrong.
Speaking of which, the sensor station, though, Jabez is not currently on the bridge. It is manned by someone that can do a sensor reading, Captain, if you elect to have that done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would have sent my second in command, Delilah Gentile. She's the person that works directly under me. She would be running the science station for you.
Okay.
2 successes.
With 2 successes, Soba, you realize the helm is not responding.
Captain, there is nothing I can do. I think we should. And he's just kind of like frantically trying to like use his fingers to just touch anything that could even like speed him up or just completely stop anything. You know, I'm sure his hands are like, he almost looks like he's probably in a like at a Grateful Dead concert where he sees his hands going like that.
Right, and Soba, Steve, what Soba would realize is everything on his panel is functioning correctly. He's just not getting any response from the Athena herself. She's not reacting to anything that you're trying to do. Slow her down, maneuvering thrusters, nothing from your console is working.
So we're still speeding forward though.
As far as you can tell, there's no real way to measure direction. It's a swirl in front of you. It's not like a point-to-point reference. It's just cloudy, clockwise spinning spirals.
Captain, just like the rule of acquisition 115, ride it out.
Lieutenant Quinn, is there any way you can manually override this and get us to stop?
And it is so loud in engineering. Quinn is sliding out of the Jeffries tube and back into the small area of main engineering. Captain, I suspect that there's some kind of antimatter imbalance. I'm checking it now.
Okay, do everything that you can.
Can I make a check here?
Yeah. Let's see. Give me
Insight engineering.
If you're going with a theory, yes.
I am. And I'm yes, so I'm going to use also I know my ship, so I can add an extra D20 to find the source of a problem. Does that work?
Absolutely, yep.
3 successes.
I will let you know that will actually earn your group a momentum increase. Let me make sure I got the increase. Oop. And with the 2 successes needed, your theory is incorrect. Something else is wrong. There is not an antimatter imbalance. But you've ruled that out. You have ruled that out, which is the most common cause of something like this.
Finally.
All right, I'm gonna continue to work on it here.
Right. And what this is Lieutenant Quinn is fantastic at her job. It's just that even the computer and the other members of her staff take time to be able to delineate this information. So as the seconds turn to minutes, this is the information that's coming back to you from the sundered Athena. You see red lights flashing everywhere. And I will give you this extra bit of information, Allison. As you go through and look at all of this, you notice that at least 70% of main engineering, encompassing at least 3 decks, is dark. It is not offline. It has no power at all.
Back to the bridge. Sorry, Captain, I picked a wrong time to be wrong here, but the warp engine seems to be functioning correctly. We're losing power down here, though. Are there other parts of the ship losing power at this point?
Soba doesn't have any control over the helm currently. We have power, but we don't have any control over the ship.
Does it seem like we're locked out, Captain? Nat finally looks away from her screen. She's been quiet the whole time.
How would we check to see if like maybe somebody locked us out of our own system?
Using your command overrides. If your overrides don't work, as Captain Elsie Locke for the USS Athena, something's wrong. Because you would be able to restore any active commands and functionality to anything on the ship just with your voice command. However, if it doesn't recognize you as the captain, there's a big problem. Nat could tell you that.
Yeah. That's why I asked.
Yeah, you've been a little busy over there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, she would say, this is Captain Elsie Locke of the USS Athena, overriding all commands to reclaim power of the ship. She's looking over at Soba to see if anything is changing, if the computer's responding to her at all.
It does. It has that same kind of trippy quality to it too, though, as it kind of extends and echoes a bit in its statement as it comes out. And Captain Elsie Locke, verification authenticated. All ship systems normal.
She just looks over at Nat.
From the science engineering section, you hear, "Captain, I find these readings very disturbing."
Disturbing how?
When you turn over, you see somebody dressed just like me. They're very disturbing, Captain. None of these readings say anything about me.
I do not recognize this person, correct?
You do not.
She looks incredibly confused. Excuse me, how did you get aboard my ship?
Elsie, you can roll an insight and either a command or a security to see if this is one of the Federation's most wanted. So
Okay. Okay.
Federation Bureau Investigation Top 10.
Okay. 1 success.
all you needed was 1. This is the entity known as Q. Captain Jean-Luc Picard has unfortunately encountered him before. He is highly dangerous, and it just so happens that somebody on your command crew and in the bridge has also encountered this entity before. And as Q stands up, he moves his robes around and looks out at the swirling field as he comes over and sits on the arm of your chair, Captain Locke.
Oh, fun. And I would know that about Nat, that she's had encounters with him before?
You would, yes.
So to what do we owe this pleasure then?
I don't know. Why did you come into my house without your shoes on?
Tracks less dirt in.
Lieutenant Commander.
Yes.
She just cuts you a look. Don't be sassy.
He smiles at Nat, but does not say that he knows her. But it is a knowing look as he smiles coyly.
Well, you see, we're actually here accidentally.
Accidentally, you say? Everything's an accident with the Federation. Oh, we've gone too far. Oh, sorry, Q. Didn't mean to mess up your plans.
Oh, did
Let's
we
ride this
mess
one.
up your plans?
No, it was a boring day today, but you're here, and this is interesting. So, as your... I can't believe you're letting Ferengi in now, but as your Ferengi said, let's ride this one out.
Or you could
I'm so-
potentially help us and turn us around and send us on our way back.
I'm sure they've written plenty about me. When have I ever helped you all? I am a teacher. A teacher doesn't just give you the answer. A teacher allows you to learn the answer. Let's see if you learn today.
She's very agitated. And what do you think it is that we have to learn today?
Well, I don't know, Alice. This is a rabbit hole you fell down. Curiouser and curiouser.
I was under the impression that teachers were familiar with the curriculum that they were trying to teach their students.
Oh, I know everything that's going on. This, for you, however, is a pop quiz.
Then what's the question?
Do we survive?
Yes.
Oh, I fear that it's multiple choice.
The answer will always be yes on my ship.
And for a moment, Q looks down. You're different from Picard. You don't... Well, one thing, that hairy tall one isn't beside you. I'm on the verge of liking you.
Uh-oh.
Well, I would say that we could be friends under the right circumstances.
Oh yes, if you survive, that would be an excellent first step.
She looks over at Lieutenant Commander Nealon. Do you have any ideas of how to get us out of this wormhole and back home safely?
I believe we're going to have to emerge from it before we can make any course alterations.
And if we have no control over the ship?
Well, we're on a wave. We're moving. Surely it will end at some point.
Taking us
Wave.
further and further from home at every moment.
Movement. That's an excellent idea. What better way to get... I know you, and he points at Nat. You, I'm almost ready to like. There's the Ferengi. And who did I hear? I'm guessing a chief engineer and a science someone somewhere. Fine, let's learn one another. And he snaps his fingers, and there is a flash as we instead go from the bridge to Olympus, which is the 10 forward of the Athena. And though you did not position yourself in this circumstance, Captain Locke, you are dancing with the entity known as Q.
Thankfully, I'm very good at dancing.
This is excellent. So, and he sends you out to twirl. Do you twirl, Captain Locke?
Yeah, of course. If we're going to be friends, might as well go all the way. Also, everybody loves a good twirl.
Okay, he twirls you out, and as he twirls you back in, he says, how did you get command of this ship?
How do you
And we're
think
gonna, before you answer, we're gonna cut away. And Nat, you are also dancing with Q on the bridge of the Reliant.
She keeps
Oh,
pinching herself, like behind.
loosen up. That's the first lesson in dancing. Certain things are rigid, but you have to be able to move.
I'm very flexible, thank you.
Oh, I'm sure. So, he looks around the bridge of the USS Reliant, NCC 1864A, which is a Defiant class ship that Nat used to serve on. Tell me, and he sends you out to twirl. Do you twirl, Nat?
No!
Okay, what do you do?
She just stops very suddenly.
Then as you stop, he leans in until his face is in yours. Tell me, Nat, which bridge do you like more? And before you can answer, we cut away to a planet where the rain is pouring in torrential bursts, and we are beside what on any other planet may be considered a muck-ridden river. But here on the Ferengi homeworld, it is a luxury spot as Q is dancing with Soba.
Mr. Q, a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Yes, it should be. It should be.
Yes. I've read about you, and I've heard that you have immense power, Mr. Q. Immense. Do you grant wishes?
Wishes?
Wishes.
Please. Wishes are beneath me.
The rule of acquisition 241.
Oh,
if
no,
I'm
no,
going
no,
to be
no,
your presence,
no.
you take and make the best of it.
Yo. And he sends Soba out for a twirl. Does Soba twirl?
Oh, he absolutely twirls. Profitable. I'm very useful.
Okay, so he sends him out and he twirls, and as you are twirled at the extent of the spin, Q asks you, do you ever think they just brought you in to, I don't know, meet some type of quota with the Ferengi? And before you get a chance to answer, we cut to a tourist destination on Mars. As the red sand moves beneath bare feet, Q is dancing with Quinn. Ah, the chief engineer, the heartbeat of every Federation vessel.
And you are?
I'm Q.
Q. Q.
Ah, now you have it.
Playing along.
Okay. So Q would just continue. Ah, so this is Mars. I'm not sure which one I'd like better, this one or Earth. Which one do you like better? As he sends Quinn out for a twirl. Does Quinn twirl?
Yes, she does. And as she twirls back in, she's preparing to, at the last moment, allow the momentum to carry her straight into a headbutt and smash her forehead into his face.
Okay, then I want you to prepare a fitness and security roll as the question remains unanswered. as we go finally to a purple ocean and a small, almost sandbar on this purple ocean as we have Q dancing with Jabez. Purple. Beautiful. It's my favorite color. Well, of the ones you can see. You're muted, Hawk.
Yes, it is one of the more beautiful seas. And since one of my previous hosts was a talented ballroom dancer, I twirl him out away from me before he has a chance to do anything else.
Oh, he takes it with gusto. And as he twirls, his robes go out and he extends his one arm so it trails in a wide arc, capturing, finally someone to take the initiative. And as he spins out, he spins back in. And as he pulls tight, one arm wrapped across his chest, he says, "So tell me, who's really in control in there?" And we will cut back to the captain.
Yeah. She just says, "How do you think I became the captain?"
I don't know. I haven't read your file. Wink.
Well, based on first impressions, then.
Well, let's see. I really can only compare you to Picard and that awful Yates fellow. But let's just stick with Picard. Picard seems, well, I'll be polite, seasoned. You seem ripe. Too ripe to be a captain. How did you become captain?
I got it like I got everything else. I talked my way into it.
His eyes widen, and as his eyes widen, inside the pupils we see another 5-starred flash as we return to the bridge of the Reliant.
Why don't you ask me a question you don't know the answer to?
Fine, why are you in the Shackleton Expanse?
Call it a sabbatical.
That's not an answer.
Yes, it is. Oh, you mean immediately why we're in it?
Yes, because you... You're not... Oh, this is great. Do you know what you did when you entered the Expanse? I'll tell you something you don't know. What you call the Shackleton Expanse is the closest thing in your galaxy to where I'm from. Your science is merely a starting point. In fact, your Lewis Carroll, that was the one that almost had it. The one humanoid that could almost see. We watched
Through the
him.
looking glass?
Yes. I mean, there was that Jack Parsons, but that window nonsense was obnoxious.
Well, how about you take this as we're just using your driveway to turn around then?
Oh, yes, let's go with that! As it flashes away and we are back on the rain-soaked banks of the a river on the Ferengi homeworld as he looks at Soba.
Smile. Soba isn't ass kissing at this very second. His little needle teeth kind of smile. He goes, "You know, I've never been to this shithole." I said, "But you know what? I don't even question why. It's rule of acquisition 93. It don't matter how you got there. It matters what you do with it."
Oh, that one I like.
I do
And as we cut away to the red sand beach, I'd like to know, the result of the fitness and security headbutt as it is flying in.
Yeah, I'm about to make it for you. And I'll re-roll one of those, I suppose.
Sure.
I will use my re-roll. How's that? Neither fitness nor security are Candor's strengths, unfortunately. Oh! Nevertheless.
With a success, but this is, of course, Q, who requires quite a few more successes to headbutt him. I am going to say this. You do bring your forehead right up to his, but it seems to stop. It doesn't jar you. It's almost as if you're hitting like a pillow or some type of sponge. You just slow as you draw closer and closer until you are nose to nose with Q, and his eyes widen. Oh, Lieutenant Quinn, is this how our relationship's going to be?
That's cheating, Q. No fair.
Ah, what you call cheating, I call a level playing field. You're just not used to playing with a god.
A god.
Well, what would you call me?
A nuisance.
Well, that's mean, especially as it's obvious you have feelings for me. I tell you, you humans have a weird way of starting a relationship, but I'll look past it for now. And from somewhere, perhaps one of the botany greenhouses, an orchid is produced from behind his back as he extends it towards Lieutenant Quinn. This is how you do it. It's an exquisite specimen.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt that it is. I think Candor has kind of no idea how to deal with this kind of creepiness, I don't think. She just kind of... I was in the middle of saving my ship.
Yes, it needs saving.
Yes, right, exactly. Can we end this charade and you can send me back?
He looks down at the orchid.
Q, I'm known for my sense of humor, but it would take way more than that to, whatever that means.
Well, this is an overture.
To what?
A grand symphony.
All right. I'll play. Dinner. But first I have a ship to save. It's kind of my thing.
Right. Yes, if you survive, dinner it is. And then again, he extends the orchid.
She takes it.
And there is a flash as we go back to a purple ocean and a dancing as just twirled back in. Q is looking at Jabez. Who's really in charge in there?
We are a team. We are in control.
Do both of you follow orders?
I am a Starfleet officer. Of course I follow orders.
Okay, let me make you a proposition. I could save the ship, but one of you in there is going to have to do something I ask. and that might break orders. If it takes you this long to think about it, it's not a yes.
Who of us would you require this of?
Oh, that's the trick of it. I'm not sure yet.
Pardon me if I don't trust you, but my family has dealt with a Q before.
Ah, well.
I don't exactly find myself in a trusting mood after what happened to my 4th generation grandfather.
I'm sure that was a cue from the other side of the tracks. I'm from the good part of town.
But still, to have the symbiont ripped from his body just out of curiosity to see what it looks like, leaving him to die, and the symbiont also almost not make it to a host in time, does not exactly incline me to necessarily want to trust a deal with you.
Well, I'll admit that does sound like one of us, but I didn't do that. What do you say? And he puts both of his hands out. I'll shake you both for it.
At this point, Jabez is trying to remember past reportings on how honest the Q actually are. But he also knows that the ship is in danger. He extends both.
I'll give you this one for free. Q and honesty.
Yeah.
They don't really. You're not sure, but he's never. He's extremely dangerous. He's cost lives before, but when
he doesn't lie, but he doesn't always tell the truth.
He doesn't reveal.
Mm-hmm. On one condition.
Oh, name it.
No matter what happens to me, the symbiont lives on.
Sure. And I have a condition as well.
State it.
He pulls himself very close, nose to nose with Jabez. One more twirl.
I do it, but twice as fast as the one I did before.
And as he's spinning with his robes out, they begin to trail like the effect on the bridge of the USS Athena. And just like that, we are back aboard the USS Athena. Jabez, you are at your science station. The helm is manned by Soba. Tactical has Nat. The chair has Elsie. And Chief Engineer Quinn is down in main engineering. So, after we've had our dance, you'd better stop your ship. And he goes over and sits down in the communications chair, even though the comms officer is standing there looking to see where she should go. And she looks at Captain Locke. Who is this comms officer, by the way?
Oh, God. Asking me to name somebody?
Anybody.
Olivia Wyatt. A good girl.
Ensign Wyatt looks at you.
Excuse me, Q. You're sitting in my comms officer's seat.
Oh.
If you would prefer, you could take my chair.
He goes over and, why, thank you. And he flips his robes out and sits down in the chair of the USS Athena.
So, but does anything seem to be responding?
one success to find out if the ship is under control again.
I will let you all know the following. To drop yourselves out of warp, it's going to take a combined maneuver from main engineering and from the helm. Basically, what you've been able to figure out with your past role is that, Lieutenant Quinn, is that there's been some type of catastrophic system failure, but if you're able to reboot basically the warp drive at the same time that Soba powers everything down, you should be able to at least drop out of warp.
Bridge engineering.
Go ahead.
Captain, I think I have a solution. But I just had what I think is an encounter with Q.
Yes, Lieutenant. He is here.
Don't
Okay.
worry, I'm here.
Okay. Yes. So I think if I can reinitialize the warp drive as Soba is powering down from his station, that should kick us out of this wormhole and back into real space.
All right. How much time do you need?
I'm ready. I can be ready to go right now. Soba?
Yes, Lieutenant.
And I'm moving over to the warp field control station.
Okay, my friends, this is a joint task, our first here on the ship.
This is going to be tricky.
I'm going to tell you this, what you need to do, Helm, I need either a daring or control plus a con. Engineering, I need a control plus engineering, engineering, I need a, control plus engineering. And you both are able to use the Athena. Actually, let me pull this up. No, this one is just by yourselves. I need from the helm, daring and control plus con, and from engineering, control plus engineering. I'm going to let you know that combined, you need to have 5 successes.
And Elsie will count down from 10 to time you off. And I will lend you my advisor. So each of you get a reroll on a failed die.
And on the bridge, what do we have in terms of bracing? Are there some kind of, we don't have seat belts, but like straps or something that we can brace people with?
Yes, absolutely. A fantastic question. In fact, the Galaxy class and Springfield class and all the ones that came out at the same time, like New Orleans, they don't have seatbelts, but they have inertial dampener tethers that clip them to the chairs. And for standing stations, they are twin clips that go from the floor to the ceiling to keep the crew member at their position without rocketing against the walls or the ceiling. You can deploy them as the TAC officer.
Yeah, Nat's gonna do that, starting with the captain and then moving around till she's the last one.
Yeah, I'll take a standing position.
Can I use bold con reroll? It'll give us a threat if we use momentum. Allison can use momentum if she'd like, but that would allow me to use a reroll. It would add in threat though.
I think
I
Summer
love it.
gave you a reroll as one of her captain
Yeah.
abilities.
If I need 2 rerolls,
Well, hopefully you won't need any.
hopefully I won't either. But
Yeah, we can jump off that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, I will need the helm to decide and let me know. Are you going to do daring or control plus con?
I'm
And
using
for-
control plus con.
Okay, and engineering, it is just a control plus engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Can we use force?
Force?
The force applicable?
That's Star Wars.
Focus.
Focus.
Yes.
Can you use the force?
Can
Can I
you?
use the force? Can I use the force?
I do not strap Q in.
Okay. As you walk by, he can see the little compartment where you're pulling them all out, and as you walk past. 3 successes from Soba as
I
he
don't need to
triggers.
reroll.
exactly when he needs to drop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Oh!
Nice job, team. Nice job.
From
Hold
over
on.
in the communications chair, Q's like, no, that's not bad. That's very good. So what you would all experience is the trailing and the trippiness and the spray of red and purple out of the window comes back into focus as a sea of stars appear, but they are they're dominated by splashes of nebula of various colors, yellows and greens, a lot of reds and purples, as this is a highly concentrated system, an unmapped system inside the Shackleton Expanse. You have no idea how far you've come into the Expanse, as once you left the warp field containment and entered the wormhole, you would all know that distance becomes relative at that point.
Is there any way I can modify my sensors to get an idea of how much distance we've traveled and where we are?
Yep, you can do a reason and science, and you can be aided by the sensors science on the Athena. I will let you all know this right now. The Athena is still moving as she is tumbling through space. And if you give me 1 second, I'm gonna let y'all know some stuff. If I can do this quick without being... Oh, it's not gonna work. Oh, nope. Let me try one more thing. Hold on.
Sorry.
There you go. Coming through right now, Hawk.
Okay, and on the ship, you said I could use what?
You're actually good with the 2 successes. That's all that you
Okay,
needed.
that's all I needed.
Yep. And as soon as you all are getting this information and you've come to a stop, numerous things start flashing through your specific areas as different information relays are giving you and gifting you what has happened to the ship.
Captain, subspace communications are completely out.
Captain, we have no shields and no weapons.
Jabez to Quinn.
Quinn here.
According to my sensor readings, portrait is offline.
Propulsion systems offline. Most of engineering offline.
You want me to go to full stop, Captain?
Can we?
And this is incredibly tough to do fast. I'm sorry. I'm not Q. As you go to reach for the station, Soba, this is what you experience. It's in chat.
Guidance system is out, Captain. The helm is dead. I can't stop.
Do we have maneuvering thrusters? Do we have impulse?
We are spiraling out of control. And he's trying to, like, he kind of like turns a Q.
Is anything working on this ship? Anything?
As near as I can tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, life support is still working.
Life support and sensors are operational.
Captain, there are 17 souls unaccounted for on Athena. 52 wounded. Our medical officer is dead.
Bridge engineering.
Go ahead, engineering.
Captain, I don't know what you're seeing up there, but this panel is lit up like a Christmas tree. It's going to take me a while to get things under control. Right now, we're focused on stabilizing the warp field. I need to know, do you want me to prioritize weapons or something else?
We need any kind of stabilizing propulsion to keep us from spiraling out of control. I'm not so concerned about warp right now, or weapons, or shields for that matter. We need to find a way to stop this momentum. Otherwise, we'll just be tumbling forever.
So, but you don't have impulse?
I have nothing, Lieutenant. Is there anything that he has that, like an emergency, like I hate to say, like a like a brake, like a handbrake, that he can?
Unfortunately, you have built up quite a head of steam, and the Athena is still moving very quickly. If you were able to fire impulse engines in the opposite direction, you would obviously be able to slow yourself. There are no maneuvering thrusters available. Nothing seems to be working on the Athena. The aforementioned systems are down, and the readings from Jabez's sensor sweep, the exterior sensor sweep, come into him now.
Captain, sensors show we are in direct collision course with what appears to be a Class L planet. If we're not able to change direction, we will collide in 3 hours, 3 minutes.
Lovely.
Science, engineering, did you say 3 hours, 3 minutes?
Yes.
Well, that's about 3 hours more than I need to fix this thing. Hold on.
I would like Quinn to roll for me a control and engineering without the Athena. She is fighting against you. She's sundered and hurt. She doesn't know what she's supposed to do.
I want to use insight here.
Okay.
This
As
is
you said before, testing the theory?
Well, this is more, as we talked about, Quinn is not, she's not the kind of engineer that has the diagrams memorized. She just has a feel for how things work, and especially for her ship.
Love it. Love it. Go right ahead. Yeah, and you can use I Know My Ship with this one as well. Looking for 2 successes. You can use your determination here if you want to automatically give yourself one as well. I will let you know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, did you say I could use I Know My Ship?
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. Okay. How's that?
That'll do. That'll do. And that'll also give you 2 additional momentum. Oh, there we go. Okay. So here is what you find out as you are able to glean from the Athena herself. She's hurt. She's hurt bad. You are immediately able to identify that there is a plasma injector that has been overloaded in the starboard nacelle. There is a systemic problem throughout Athena. You suspect this had something to do with what kept you from going to warp. Whenever the fail-safes had made sure that there wouldn't be a core containment breach, that was the first symptom in a much greater disease. Mm-hmm. And with the extra rolls, I'm going to tell you this. I will give you the entirety of the information available to Quinn and this problem for the low cost of 1 momentum.
Yeah, we'll spend that.
Okay. So Quinn, you're able to figure out the following: that the plasma injector in the port or the starboard nacelle would need to be replaced. There's no way around that one. You are the only person capable of doing that currently on the Athena, at least to what I would suspect would be Quinn's satisfaction. The problem with that is conservatively speaking, that's going to take roughly 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's if everything goes perfectly fine, because you're going to have to let the nacelle cool and allow the plasma to actually cool. There's no way to speed up that process. You can't introduce a foreign agent into the nacelle to artificially cool it or expose it to a vacuum without seriously compromising the pylon. So that's going to take some time. What else, though, and more concerning, you would realize that the overload that caused the plasma injector to go offline is also what has darkened engineering. And someone would have to go into this dark area of engineering and help to basically make sure that whatever blew up in there isn't going to do so again. And the third and final problem that you've run across is that impulse propulsion and maneuvering has had several of its key relays burned out from both the exterior and the interior of the ship. As Chief Engineer Quinn, you would know that the quickest way to fix that would be to have a person on the outside of the ship and a person on the inside of the ship simultaneously reactivating the relays to prevent another cascade effect. That's a ton of information, and I will allow you to process it with your crew as you tell me what you'd like to do in the next 2 hours and 56 minutes.
I contact the bridge and share out all of the different problems that I've that were just noted. Captain, I think that I think we should focus on getting impulse and maneuvering thrusters back online. That'll allow us to at least enter orbit around this planet and not crash into it. And that would be my preference at this point.
I completely agree. I would prefer to not collide with the planet. Tell us where you need an extra set of hands.
I will, if you wish, Captain. One of my previous hosts was on the about 4 generations back, was on one of the teams that did initial warp drive studies on the Trill homeworld. My knowledge may be a little out of date, but a little knowledge is better than none.
Lieutenant Quinn, I would be happy to go into engineering provided I have an assistant. I'm good at spotting things that are going to blow up, but they might know more than me.
Yeah, I'm glad to have the help. Lieutenant Commander Nealon, perhaps if I could pair you off with Tasatek, with Ensign Tasatek, to work this on the inside of engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into a pressure suit and work the relays from outside the hull. And Jabez's next priority is going to be those warp engines. So as soon as we have stopped ourselves from a collision with this planet, I'll take you up on your offer down in engineering.
Very well.
Okay, so you have 3 distinct problems. You have the plasma injector that's going to require the cooldown of the starboard nacelle. You have the power outage on 3 decks of engineering, and then you have the relays that must be simultaneously turned on the interior and the exterior.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the teams that are going for those?
Yeah, so we're focused on the relays initially, and that's going to be me on the outside. And is that Nat and Tasatek on the inside?
No, me and Tasatek are going to the 3 decks with the power outage.
Got it. Okay.
Potentially Jabez helping you on the inside?
I can do that.
Yeah, that works. So Jabez and I are going to focus on that problem. Nat and Tasatek are going to work on figuring out why power's out to a third of my engineering. And in the meantime, we're going to let that plasma injector cool so that we can deal with it when it's ready to be dealt with.
Okay, so to turn off and prepare the cooling area for the plasma injector. I will allow Jabez to do it, or the chief engineer can do it. All of this takes time. That's the thing. So it's going to take the sequence of actually shutting this down to allow the nacelle to cool is going to take 25 minutes. So who would like to do that? And if it fails, you're going to need 25 more minutes to do it again. So it would either be Jabez with a reason and science, or an engineering with a reason and engineering. And the Athena can't help you. She's almost out.
You're muted.
Can that wait until after we have impulse power?
That's the cascade effect. If that's not up online, then impulse won't trigger. It's a step process. So the nacelles, the power outage, and then impulse engines and maneuvering thrusters.
Okay. I understand
Perfect.
better now.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will.
Your call.
Yeah, I'll shut down the starboard nacelle so that it can cool down. And you said that is what's the roll?
Reason and engineering, it is only a D1, difficulty 1 here, so you just need 1 success.
And 1 success.
The shutdown process continues. It takes you essentially 25 minutes to do that. In that period of time, Nat, you are taking the darkened area of engineering. Are you taking any precautions?
Now I am.
Yes, absolutely you are.
Of course I am. I'm very cautious all the time. Well, we got hit there, so it may not be perfectly sealed any longer, so we should probably have suits as well. Me and Tasatek. Yep. Gotta
Okay.
see what's going on.
Peep around.
Mm-hmm.
As you get into that area and begin looking around at the darkened, you begin to follow a trail that looks as if a fuse was lit. You see darkened areas along the wall as something had been burning, or again, a cascade effect of some kind. And as you follow it back, you find a main junction box that is blown open. The normal containment field, or the panels that go on these, are supposed to take a hell of a shot before they would explode internally. This one does not have its panel on. It is basically raw burnt wiring at this point. You can bypass it. The ship never has one thing that can't be bypassed, but that strikes you as odd because you're the security officer.
Yeah, like it was taken off. Is
I can't
that like
answer
is? Yes, you can. Oh, I mean, you just kind of did.
You could look around for the panel. It's gone. The panel's not here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Tasatek. I'm not an engineer, which I clearly establish every day of my life. So Tasatek is going to work on bypassing. I'm going to warn them to just like be on the lookout for anything that may have been sabotaged for no reason at all. And I'm going to look around the area.
Okay. I'd like you to roll me a fitness and security as you go around the area.
Mhm.
And Allison, if you would, roll me for your engineering department. And so what I'm going to basically ask for is, I want a simple control and engineering that is just like a base roll that you're going to make for your department. There's other ways to do it, but I like doing it this way, but a little bit better. So.
I do want to remind you, I have the talent constantly watching, so I reduce observation difficulty by 1. So
Gotcha.
if I need a 2, I get them on a 1.
You're going to get it on a 1 then.
Okay.
Is my pool 1 or 2 for this, Greg?
2. It'll be 2 for
Okay.
this.
I'm a re-roll that 1 Cause
Sure.
yeah, you know. Tight. Yeah, 2 successes. No
Okay.
threat. None for you.
Yeah, increase your momentum. You're able to find the panel, and with casual observation through the light on your environmental suit, you see that the inside of the panel is not scorched, which would indicate that it was taken off before whatever happened.
We have no computers right now, do we? Wait, no, I got readings. I got readings of casualties. Can the computer tell me how many people are currently on the ship?
Yeah, absolutely. The complement for Springfield is 400 and
30?
ish. I think it's 430 ish. Yeah, so a lot of those are accompanied or accounted for in the makeshift triage centers that were set up in the different laboratories. But as far as currently giving me the locations of everybody on the ship, it won't do that. It's
Okay,
just giving
cool.
you a readout. Yeah, basically these are station and deck commanders saying, I can't find John, I can't find
Right.
Laura, and it's coming in like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take that panel and bring it to Satek and just keep on the lookout until they can get what they need to get done.
That was 2 successes for my engineering team.
Okay, so it takes roughly 45 minutes, and what this will be is Satek is ready to turn on. They have everything ready to fire back up in this area of engineering, but they have to wait for main power to be back online with the nacelle. So you have everybody on the starting blocks in this section. They're going to have to stay there, though, to make sure that when it fires back up, they're able to use the powers at that point to complete the bypass. Nat, do you stay with them?
Yeah, I am going to message Captain Locke and ask if I can speak to her. If she can just be not on the bridge right now.
Oh,
Could
sure.
you go to your ready room, maybe?
I could take a little walk.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. This is how we talk.
Walk and talk.
Captain. And I move a little away from Satek. Not
As soon-
fight.
As soon as you walk into your ready room, if that's where you're going,
Sure.
Q is there with his feet up on the desk.
Absolutely.
Is this a secret session?
Yes, Q.
Oh, I'll be quiet. I'll be over here.
Okay, put your fingers in your ears.
Why?
Captain, I believe we may have been sabotaged.
Oh, really? What gives you that
would
idea?
be quiet. Because a panel was removed from one of our junctions, making it a lot easier for it to be damaged.
And you're sure it was removed
Yes.
before?
Positive.
Well, that's unfortunate news, but even if we were sabotaged, there's not much we can do about it right now. At least not until we get the ship under control. But the odds are that they are still on the ship. So be on the lookout.
I will be.
Are you having fun yet? In my neck of the woods.
Oodles.
I can see that.
Lieutenant Commander, please contact me if anything else comes up.
Yes, Captain.
Stay on the lookout. And she'll return to the bridge.
As soon as the comm goes dead, Q would say, Elsie? May I call you Elsie?
I don't see why not.
This place doesn't follow your rules, your science, your law. You see, it's just a suggestion. Here. Your sabotage and threats, you're looking in the wrong place. But other rules apply. Some work differently, time, gravity. Some rules you have yet to learn, but I suspect that your friend Lewis Carroll would call them magic. Elsie, this is going to be so fun. So fun.
You asked me a question earlier. Could I ask you a question?
Shoot.
Can we do it? Do you think we can do it?
Am I rooting for you? Or do I know that you will do it?
Well, I'd be interested in hearing both.
Yes. And he disappears.
Yep, going back to the bridge. Where is everybody at? Status report.
At this point, with everything cooling, you would have a little under 2 hours until smash time.
All right. So do we have to wait for this entirely to cool before we can restart the engine?
Quinn would have to, yeah.
All right, let's kill some time.
Do we need to get the impulse relays and maneuvering relays reset?
That requires somebody on the outside of the ship and someone on the inside. Up to you all.
Yeah. Ensign, I wonder if Ensign Soba...
He is not going outside unless
No,
he's...
no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Not happening.
Quinn wants to go outside.
Engineering to Soba.
Yes, Lieutenant.
Ensign, I've got a pressure suit for you set up down here. I'm going to need you on the outside of the hull working on these relays. No, I'm just kidding. I'll take care of the outside part.
Almost doesn't like Elizabeth. Yeah, yes, Lieutenant. I can. I'm quite good at control. I could be the inside if necessary.
All right,
I
I'm
believe
suiting
I
up
will be
now.
helping. I help you get your suit on
Great.
while we can as we prepare. Now, will I need the isolinear nanoprobes, or will just the Baresium impellers be enough for this?
No, not that. Look, just the nanoprobes. That's plenty for now.
Okay.
And I don't need just the one. Just the one is fine. I don't need the whole case.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds
so
good, Lieutenant.
Let's do it.
I'm in the air. I'm in the airlock here, getting ready to just a little walk.
Okay, so to take this from Quinn's point of view, as the airlock sounds closing behind and then opening in front of her, you are greeted with a nausea-inducing spin as the Athena, though inside you can't feel it because of inertial dampeners and anti-grav, is spinning like a top. It's not just a flat spin, it's also got some like crooked ellipse to it as well. So you're tumbling and turning on both axes. I'm going to need you to make a fitness and an engineering roll when you get to when you step out and begin to focus on the decking. This is like what Buzz Aldrin called the worst part of NASA training.
Yeah. So as the airlock doors open, you'd hear Candor go, "Whoa! Oh. So, I changed my mind. I need you to do this part."
Lieutenant, do you require assistance?
No, I'm fine, Lieutenant Commander Nealon. Just give me a second.
You have this, Lieutenant. You got this.
Focus on the horizon. What was the role that you said?
This is a fitness and an fitness plus security or engineering. It's fitness and then one of the other two. And this will take care of the first relay as well. What I would like on the inside is I would like a security and an engineering from Soba as he's on the inside.
Can I make my search and rescue focus work for this? Maybe I've got some.
Sell me on it.
Yeah. So her last ship was a search and rescue ship. So I think maybe she's got at least it's not the first time that she's experienced a ship that's spinning out of control like this. She doesn't like it, but she kind of knows what to do about it.
Yeah, search and rescue, you can't be taken out just by vertigo. So, yeah, I'll give you the focus on it.
Damn it.
All right. What did you need from me again, Greg?
I tell you what, I will allow you guys to split this roll. This would be a 1d20, though. And you guys can roll me, somebody can roll me security and someone can do engineering. Between Soba and Jabez, you're working the inside.
I'll do engineering.
I'll do security then.
And I got 0 successes on that, so I'm going to re-roll.
Get ready for some more 0 successes.
Okay.
Okay, and remember, Summer is in comms range. So, Summer, as long as you're on comms, you can force a re-roll, too.
Yeah. I was going to say, Lieutenant Quinn, have you ever taken ballet class?
No, I can't say that I have, Captain.
When you're spinning, you keep your eyes on one point no matter which way your body turns. Just pick a focus and take a deep breath.
All right, Captain.
That's
so,
not
but
right.
don't be an idiot. That's my advice to you.
Even that's not right. That only rolled engineering for you, buddy.
That's all. That's
Yeah.
all. No, but Jabez was going to do the other part.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm-
understand.
Yeah,
They
I'm
were-
going
they
to
were
roll that, definitely.
It's asking
Okay.
me which attribute I want. Oh,
yeah,
none.
just-
Never mind.
And a none. Yeah.
Right.
Never mind. I didn't see the none there.
All right. Hey, sorry, Quinn.
Ew.
That's bad. Nope.
I got 2 successes on the re-roll because of the great inspiration of my captain.
Right. So, I will say this though, because you're able to get the first relay done, but you're able to get there quickly, but it seems as if the interior is moving a little bit slower than the exterior to get the relay done. I'm going to say this, and this would be information I'm going to give to the captain. Captain, if you hit the last relay on the outside, you may be able to get this done and pick up a little extra time if you want to get your hands dirty.
Hell yeah, I do. Absolutely. Let's go.
Okay. You have to suit up, and you can attempt to spot beam to the outside of the hull, or you can climb out yourself, however you'd like to do it.
I'll climb out. It's better to go out yourself just because you can orient yourself better.
Captain, we cannot afford to lose you. So nervous that she's going to go. Like, it's like his only, like...
Don't be ridiculous, Soba. I'm going to go.
On the outside dome of the Springfield, on one far side, we have the chief engineer, and on the other far side, walking out of a different airlock, we have the captain. I would like my chief engineer to roll again with a fitness or security plus engineering, and I'd like the same roll from the captain as they are going to attempt to work the outside relays. Inside, I need 2 rolls from the 2 of you as you are working inside with however you all want to do it.
Okay.
How do values work?
I'm sticking with engineering, man. It has to be
Okay.
for me.
What did you want to use for your value? Your values are basically just RP points.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's why you're out there.
Can I use one of my values as well? Reason creates direction, which focuses success.
Sure, yeah, but remember, values are like motivational. It's like the cat at hang in there. So you're getting yourself psyched for it, but
And they give you reason to use your determination.
correct.
Okay.
If you want to use your determination, you have to have a value that kind of leads allows you to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you both would have that.
1.
Okay.
My security's only 1, so it's
Oh yeah, so is mine.
hard to get.
I got 1 success as well.
Yeah.
What's your engineering, Jabez?
3.
That's mine too.
All right, so what this does is everything gets done your Starfleet. It just takes time. And we are getting within 45 minutes of collision orientation. You're able to make it back inside, but Quinn, you have to get into the nacelle now and fire back up or replace the plasma injector. You can take someone with you if you'd like, but totally up to you. The Jeffries tube's big enough for both of you at this point.
So as I'm coming back into the airlock, Quinton, Nealon,
here.
I could use a hand with this nacelle. Can you meet me at the starboard pylon?
Copy. To Satek, will you be ready to go as soon as we have everything back online?
Of course.
If just hand near to communicator, just in case.
Of course.
And that takes off running.
Okay.
Yep. Captain's headed back to the bridge.
Did Soba go back to the helm now?
Yes.
I'll return to my post on the bridge as well.
Okay, so here's what you would know. Once this fires back up, after everything that you've done, if it's done correctly, and the override holds in the darkened area of the station, darkened area of engineering, you should regain power almost immediately. And so if and when that happens, you should be at ready stations, is all I'm saying. For this time, when we're doing like a refire for the first time. So,
how long do I estimate this will take Nat and I?
25, 30 minutes?
Bridge, this is Quinn.
Go ahead.
All right, Captain, I suspect that that if we've got this just right, this should take about 35 minutes. So as soon as it comes back online, we should be ready to go. If Soba can fire those impulse engines and put us into an orbit, that'll give us some time to sit back and figure out what's really wrong with this girl.
Aye, aye, Lieutenant. I'll make sure I do it quickly.
We'll be ready here. Just get it done.
Quinn out.
Allison, I want you to take it from here, my friend, as you are climbing up the nacelle, up the pylon for the starboard nacelle. Once you get up there, all I'm going to need is anything that you can think of to throw a reason and an engineering together. And you're going to need a roll with 2 successes to fire this back up in the time period that you need.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as we're, Nat, as you come around the corner, you see Quinn, and she's out of uniform. She's just got on sort of that like set of coveralls or long johns that you wear under a pressure suit, because she's just come from the airlock. Mm-hmm. And she's a little bit, she's a little sweaty and a little rumpled. All right. You ready?
I don't know what we're doing, but sure.
All right, well, let's start climbing first. I'll explain on the way.
That I can do.
So we start climbing up the ladder and the pylon to get up to the nacelle. So once we get up here, it's likely to be pretty warm still, but it's cool enough that we can stand it for a bit. It's going to take me a few minutes to get these, to check out the EPS junctions, and then I will activate the power flow, the plasma flow from the engine back here. At that point, one of two things is going to happen.
Do you care to give me the options?
Well, either power is going to be restored to the entire ship, and we are going to have succeeded at yet another miracle, or we're all going to blow up, and the last thing you and I will remember will be the blazing hot plasma streaming out and stripping the flesh from our bones.
Well, I'll be sure to think happy thoughts then. What do you need from me?
And at that point, I'd kind of explain a bit of the task that I need from her to support me here.
Yeah, anything physical that she needs to do, that's what Nat will assist with.
Right, and this is a very awkward area of the Jeffries tube, so knowing Nat, I would assume that because of the nature of hanging on something, if you want to kind of reinforce the position and the climb, that would be something that you could do to kind of narratively support everything that's going on here. So as you are ready to do this, make that roll for me.
What's the roll?
It is going to be a reason plus engineering and anything you can think of to use right now that might determine something that you could...
that might determine?
Yeah, determine a successful outcome.
You're filled with determination.
I am. I'm powerfully determined here. So that works. Does that work as an auto success?
An
It's
auto
an auto
crit.
success. It's an auto
If I
crit.
use my determination, yeah. So the value I'm levering here is probably, where are they? There they are. Is improvise, adapt, overcome.
There you go.
All right, so I will use that determination and crit this.
Okay, you still need one success now. So
Okay.
It was a difficulty 3, so you get an automatic crit that gives you 2. And so give me one more here.
How about 2 more?
2 more is good. As it fires back up, the entire ship comes back online. The relays hit. The darkened area of engineering lights back up. The relay holds. The bypass is strong. But there's a crumpled Vulcan in front of the relay, curled in a lima bean type of position. And as the relays that were formulated by the captain and the engineer on the exterior and the pilot and the science officer on the interior, thump, 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 as they hold their cadence, everything fires back on. And at that moment, when the readings internally begin to give more than they were before, Jabez, your science screen flies open, and you are gifted with numerous warnings, 2 of a dire nature.
Captain, I'm getting all sorts of reports from sensors right now. The biggest concern right now, our inertial dampeners are failing and artificial gravity is starting to fluctuate.
To Sawtech? Bye. I'm so fast, Greg.
As you begin to move, that is when the inertial dampeners go offline. And as they go offline, you feel the flipping of the Athena. As Nat, you're running, you immediately smash off the top of the ceiling as you begin to cannonball down this hallway. The anti-grav begins to go out, which is actually a blessing as it makes you lighter. You're still moving and slamming against things as you go through here. You're going to take 2 harm as you just smash through this area.
I only take 1 because I'm sturdy.
You are sturdy. I would like my chief engineer to roll me a fitness and security as you are kind of blasted off of your feet. You were not tethered whenever you came down out of the Jeffries tubes, and this is all going to pot rather quick.
One success.
You're going to take 1 harm as you kind of pitch forward, and you're able to kind of wrap your arm around one of the tethers here in main engineering, and you're dangling as all of your engineers with the strap to the ceiling and the strap to the ground are almost like fishing lures. You see them bouncing and bobbing and going from side to side like tether balls as the Athena can no longer contain what's going on. Captain, you have your chair. Q did not take it back. You begin to see your vision spot and start to go dark. What do you want to do, Captain?
Soba, do we have any control over the ship?
Captain, and he's furiously attempting to get control of the ship.
We need to stop the spinning now.
I'm probably hanging on.
As soon as you touch the controls, Soba, you realize that a lot of the spinning has nothing to do with the ability or your ability to correct. You're caught in some type of gravity well. You are being drawn at a rapid pace towards this Class L planet, and you can reorient, but the inertial dampeners maintain this incredible G-force against everyone. I need everybody to roll me, that's not Soba, everybody to roll me a fitness and security, please.
Captain, we're being pulled in.
Jabez, you feel your vision begin to blur and darken. With the inertial dampeners offline, you have that feeling of dancing again, of that twirl before with Q, only this time it's more sinister, but still that same butterfly in the stomach feeling when you twirled Q out and brought him back in. Your vision is going dark. You are passing out. You have 1 last second to say something to the crew. Do you have anything for them?
Captain, if I can take the magnetospheric that matrix, blast it through the port emitters, I might be able to get us out of this gravity well.
And with that, Jabez slumps in his chair as his body is rocketed back and forth. He is unconscious. Captain Locke, again, you feel that butterfly in the stomach feeling of a twirl, but again, this is darker. This is grave. And as you're sitting in your chair, you feel your vision begin to go out as you look around and your crew begins to drop. Olivia over at comms drops, and Q is standing there calmly beside you. He puts a hand on the back of your chair as he leans in. I was rooting for you. You have 1 moment to say something to your crew before you pass out.
Lieutenant Commander, you're in command.
And with that order, there's a ding ding as the computer acknowledges the change in command. And Captain Locke, you slump as your vision darkens and your body is rocketed in the command chair back and forth. Let's see, we had 2 come in from Nat. you are getting blasted down this hallway, but you're maintaining your ability to stay conscious, but you feel the pressure on the outside of your head. You're vaguely aware of the captain's voice saying, Lieutenant Commander, you're in charge. You have a moment here to try to do something to stabilize yourself. What would you like to try?
Where exactly am I?
You were running towards the part of engineering that was darkened. So
Yeah.
we're going to say you're in that hall that would lead to where you left the relay. And you're kind of screaming down that area like a cannonball coming out of a
Right.
cannon.
Is it like this?
It's like an L intersection and you're headed towards the intersection.
Okay. Sure. Maybe. Okay. So let's see if I still have any of those straps on me. I took a bunch, so why not? What I'm gonna try to do is if there's a railing or something I can just tie off around quickly, like kind of what's it called? Not bungee jumping. The other, it's I can't think of the word.
Repelling.
Yeah.
Repelling.
That I want to do that, like I'm, going splunking or something.
Okay. Give me a fitness and security as you try to do this. I will tell you, because of your momentum, this is going to take 3 successes.
Okay, well I'll use 1 momentum. Yes. 5.
You wrap it up, and I'm going to say that you don't take any damage, even though you slam against the wall, but you have tethered yourself to this wall as you are hanging kind of in an odd angle. You're hanging with your feet going down the hallway, but for this moment, you are conscious and you're not taking any more damage. But let's go to the chief engineer. You're able to maintain your consciousness, Quinn, but you can see that many of your staff are blacking out. They're at their stations, but they just simply cannot. The G-force is too strong. Is there anything that you would like to do at this moment?
Yeah, I tap my communicator. Engineering to bridge.
Bridge is quiet. What do you need, Quinn?
Soba's still conscious, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is.
Soba would hear this, engineering to bridge, and Soba, as you look around, everyone else, you see Jabez rocking in his chair, you see the captain unconscious, everybody on the bridge is out except for you.
I said, yes, Lieutenant.
Soba, I'm going to try to get the inertial dampeners back online. As soon as they pop back in, I want you to hit the warp drive on. I don't care what heading it's on, just out of this gravity well.
He's already furiously put in. There's one quick question. Do I think that we can slingshot around this thing in any way, shape, or form, piloting, control, or con, or whatever he's got to do? Like a slingshot around the, like stop and then boom. Anything that can wait that'll slingshot around the planet in any way, shape, or form.
You absolutely think that you could try something like that, sure, but again, you are a bridge crew of 1 right now, and a Springfield class ship is not flown by the helms person alone. So it would be a hell of a feat. I'm not saying it's impossible. This is Star Trek. Everything's okay, but it would be tough. It's up to you all.
We've got propulsion.
Mm-hmm. Is the transporter chief awake?
He kind of screams that. Do you want me to try to slingshot or warp? Everyone's out up here, lieutenants.
What was that, Nat?
Just what do you need? What do you need up there, Soba?
To survive.
I try to contact the transporter chief. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. So, what I'm thinking here, So look, Soba, don't send us to warp before the inertial dampeners come back online. We'll all be puddles if you do.
Copy that, Captain, or copy that, Lieutenant.
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, shall we?
Okay, so with that bit of information given from the chief engineer to the pilot, a very important piece of information about the dangers of warp travel without inertial dampeners. I would like both Nat and Quinn to roll me another fitness and security. I'm going to let you both know that this time I'm going to need 3 successes.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a momentum again.
Would I know that command's been transferred to Nat at this point?
You would have heard it as well. You were still awake.
Okay. So as this is happening, I'm looking to Nat like it's the best I got.
Great. I can't see her look because I'm propelling down a hallway, but I feel it. Great. I think I'm going to also use my determination here on top of the momentum. Last man out. I ain't going down. Somebody needs to be up on this ship. So that'll be 2 in addition to whatever I roll. It's a 7.
I only had 1 success.
Quinn, you feel your eyes begin to grow heavy as the vision darkens around you. You have 1 moment to say something as you begin to lose consciousness.
I gotta get the inertial dampeners back online.
I'm going to engineering.
And Quinn, as you say that, you have to get the inertial dampeners back online. You slump and you are suspended in that tether from ceiling that you're able to kind of reacquire, and you, much like a fallen marionette, just bounce in the harness. But with a 7, Nat, you begin to climb back into main engineering from this switched up grav position that you're in, as boxes and things that normally would be magnetically latched to the decking are giving way because of just the extreme pressures. But somehow you're able to climb up as you reach, and the readouts are just flashing red everywhere as every other member of engineering is down as they are, and you see Quinn bouncing like the aforementioned fallen marionette. You and Soba are the only 2 souls remaining awake on the Athena. Soba, you do not feel any of this gravity pressure. It is well known that Ferengi, because of their substantial cranium, do not suffer from the same gravity effects as many of the other humanoid races. You feel a headache. You feel your head like it's in a vice, but you don't black out. You're not having that same type of physical reaction, but you're alone. I need to know what the 2 of you are going to do in the next 10 seconds of game time. You can tell me.
Yeah. Ensign Soba?
Yes, Lieutenant.
I'm going to try and get us back online.
Aye, Captain. We have to do this quick. I'm going to swing us. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right.
I'm going to do it. She gave me the okay. I'm doing it. I'm going to use evasive maneuvers. That'll keep, if evasive on successful evasive task, spend 2 momentum difficulty is not raised.
Okay, I will let you know this. I don't believe you have 2 momentum.
No, we only have
I
one.
only have 1.
Yep.
Can I use a determination and a momentum?
You
Yep.
have your determination. Why don't you go
Yes.
ahead and use that and leave
Yes,
me the
definitely.
momentum?
Okay, that'll work. You can,
I will need this from Soba. I need a daring or control plus
Got it.
con. And from
Starship
down,
tactics.
down in
Ranger.
engineering, I am going to need, yeah, you have a focus. Down in engineering, I am going to need a reason plus engineering.
Let me argue with you on the former. Do you think this is more like anything else? Like control, like daring.
Is this, no, I'm going to tell you why it's not one of the other. This is, you're not familiar with
I know.
engineering. So you have to literally reason this shit out. You know, you were given the last words of Quinn were get the dampeners back online. So
Okay.
you're trying to figure this out while being pulled in like 6 different directions. I will let you know this. You all need to have a combined D6. This is a difficulty 6 to save the
God.
Athena.
Oh my god. Okay,
Is-
well, you have your determination, so that's 2, and then you add whatever you roll to that.
Yeah,
so
and
roll well for me.
so the difficulty doesn't come down to my evasive. I don't have momentum. What am I talking about?
Nope.
Can I use bold con? If she uses the momentum on a success, and that'll cause a threat.
No, it is a simultaneous roll. So you cannot one person go and then build off momentum if there is any.
No, I'm using it anyway.
Okay, so get
Okay.
your rolls.
Here we go. 2 successes.
And you add your determination, right,
I
Steven?
did. Yes, I did. 3. I did add my determination.
So
I just spit it.
as luck would have it, perhaps it's the last words of Quinn and the desperate calling of the Athena herself to her children. You arrive at the panel that's needed to re-engage the inertial dampeners, and as you press away at a sequence of buttons that you probably haven't reviewed since the academy, they come back online just as Soba swings out of the gravity well.
That
And
way.
the Athena rockets, almost stopping. It's like Shackleton Expanse drift as the Athena
Yes,
slides
exactly it.
sideways,
Yep.
and then the impulse engines kick to full, and with a sickening feeling in everybody's stomach, even the unconscious would wake up and feel as if they've done 1,000 crunches. You pull free of the gravity well, and everything returns to normal, but only Nat and Soba are awake. And Soba, you'd feel a hand on your shoulder.
He looks up. Like sweat is just pouring, like snot's probably coming out of his nose, his Ferengi nose, if they have snot. I don't know if they do.
Q looks down at you. Call your captain.
Captain! He runs over to her. He gets up out of the comm and runs over to her. And, Captain!
When you say that, Nat, your communicator chirps.
Gross. I'm on my way, Ensign.
Oh, yeah, yes, Lieutenant.
You'll get it one day.
Nat, you would hear the voice as Q says to both of you, I was rooting for you all. And I will continue to do such. Because a cat without a smile is strange, but a smile without a cat is mad. Ha! In 1 month's time, if you're still alive in the Shackleton Expanse, I will give you, and he looks at Soba, a wish.
So his eyes go like wild. Like doesn't say anything. And then he turns back to the captain.
And he would wait until Nat kind of arrives out of the turbo lift. And as soon as Nat steps on, he snaps his back and snaps a salute. Captain on the bridge, and he disappears in a star point. There is a beeping coming from these sensors.
Never stops.
Lieutenant Commander, you saved us.
With plenty of help along the way.
And he's furiously trying to get the captain away. Captain!
I'm gonna go over to the sensors.
Captain Locke would begin to awaken. Jabez, you would start to awaken as Nat comes over to your sensor suite as you're all coming up. But Nat, when you look down, you see that on a intercept course is the USS Artemis.
Yay.
You're being hailed.
Open hailing frequencies. Up on the view screen.
The view screen opens and you see the face of Khan. Captain. And that is where we will end this session of continuing mission. Mirror Universe calling. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's a great one, Godless Lawyer. Fast in the Ferengius. I like that too. Very good. Very good. Very good. Once again, I thought this was going to be a two-shot, so I had everything pressed up for a different outcome to get us done here. But we will be back next week, and we will slow things down as the Shackleton Expanse reveals exactly what's going on here, as will the crew and captain of the USS. Well, I'll tell you right now, the signature is the USS Artemis, but on the dome, it says Botany Bay.
Of course.
So, let's go around and talk to our friends. And first, we'll talk to acting captain, Lieutenant Commander Nat Nealon, who fought gravity and with 7 successes won. Lauren, again, you proved that there is no system that won't side with you against me.
I hate engineering so much. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's horrible. I'm Lauren. That's all the ginger over on Twitter. Who am I? I'm part of the team here at Tales from the Grim, and you know, I do other stuff. I'm having salty sweet games with my best friend Kiana. I just got back from Gen Con. It was crazy. This was somehow as crazy. Yep, I do things. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here next week. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Fantastic, fantastic. And as we go from acting captain to the Fast and the Ferengius, we go down to Steve as somehow the joint 3 successes out of a DC or a difficulty 6. They're able to take it and win. I love it. I couldn't love it anymore.
Lord and me teaming up again. It's just the way it goes, you know.
It is always best of me.
Dude, I just you got to let me use my piloting skills. It was that was intense. I loved every minute of that, and I was literally, if you could see question marks over my head as Allie and Hawk were talking, and Lauren, I mean, I'd be like, what are they talking about? I have no clue. This is exactly how this would go. I would be clueless on anything they're saying. But you were amazing as Q. Loved it. Everybody was great. Follow them. I guess we're going to keep doing this. So I had to take this thing off. It was driving me nuts. I couldn't take it anymore. So your Ferengi friend will be back next week, and I'll see you then.
I have to admit to my friend, I know that you're not a fan of the Ferengi. You're playing one exceptionally well, and your use of the rules of acquisition, sublime. It's
They're all-
amazing the way you're throwing them in there.
He
at
just
the
makes
perfect-
them up. I'm just literally making up stuff. I don't really
I
know.
don't care. I know you are, but I love that they're perfect. You just got to ride it out. That's like something you'd hear from like a Wall Street broker, which is what I always think of when I think of Ferengi. Fantastic, my friend. Let's skip over to one half of the science and engineering duo, who I warned earlier today there'd be a lot of that, and I am blessed to have fantastic trekkers who love to talk the jargon. Allison, my dear friend, Quinn came through.
More or less. Oh man, that was fun. That was so much fun. I love engineering. I'm starting to have my doubts about this ship though. I mean, I love it, but it's like, I just got one thing fixed and another thing's breaking. It's like my ship is a teenager. What the hell?
Right.
Anyway, I play RPGs to escape from my real life, Greg. So.
I'm sorry. Noted for next time.
Thank you. I'm Al. You can find me at Allison Robinson on Twitter and see all the other things that I have going on there. I will be thrilled to be back here next week with this crew and hopefully keep this bucket of bolts together while we accomplish something.
Love it. And Allison, I'll let you know that in the Athena's defense, she took a hell of a shot before you all did this. I mean, she got hit with a haymaker and then thrown into a wormhole. That's tough, you know?
No, this is true. And I'm, as I'm figuring out this character, I originally thought I would go into this being sort of like Kaylee, right? Kaylee Fry from Serenity, who really loves that old ship. I think maybe the way this is going to go is that Quinn has a love-hate relationship with the Athena. Like, she loves it, but she kicks it around every once in a while when it doesn't do what she wants it to do,
Right. I gotcha. A few parts Kaylee, a few parts Han Solo.
I think maybe.
Right.
Hear me, baby, hold together.
Right. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. Let's go over to that half of the science and engineering, the sciencey part. My buddy Hawk. Hawk, how are you doing? And hey, Jabez got to dance with Q, right?
Yeah, and and unlike everyone else, I was leading.
There you go,
Anyway, I'm KY Hawkeye on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You'll find me Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. doing my weekly Lego gaming series. We're still trying to wrap up the Lego DC Supervillains game, trying to get all of our Goldbergs gathered there. Thursday nights is my weekly Skyrim serial, currently doing Scandalon's Tale, the Khajiit, who is now paws deep in investigating someone who's trying to take out the Thieves Guild that he is a part of. And then, of course, Saturday night's my new project, Saving Throw Wrestling, where different members on Twitch, either DMs, GMs, or players from different channels are in the wrestling ring. And yes, Greg, you still hold half of the tag team title along with Jonathan Fry, the Black Roses. And Salty Ginger is in the mix there as well with her tag team partner Kiana, the Smooch Girls. So they have their tag team stuff going as well. So that's on Saturdays at 7 p.m. all times Eastern US. Adjust your time zones accordingly. And if we're doing this next week, I got to order me some more spots.
That's great, buddy. And I'm going to say this right now. The Smooch Girls are never getting the belts. Ever. Ever. Summer, Captain Locke, how are you doing, my friend? And that was Q. Sorry.
Super fun. No, I had an amazing time. This was really stressful. I've never experienced so much secondhand stress from rolls before, I think, of just really needing those to go well, especially whilst unconscious and not being able to give you all my sweet rerolls. But this was absolutely incredible. Everybody was just Chef's kiss, perfect. I was just loving every second. You can find me on Twitter at Just a Summer Job. That's where I retweet everything I'm doing, so I won't bore you with a lot of stuff. But just go there. That's where everything is.
Fantastic, my friend. As for me, I'm Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim team here on the Twitch. We have a lot of really fun stuff coming up over the next couple weeks. We have the continuing mission Star Trek series. Oh, TV, thank you very much, my friend. We have we're going to continue with this, so be back next week and we'll be having some fun. We're going to have some more Sky Chasers on 3 p.m. Eastern time on Sundays. This Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have the Spy Game. As our buddy Sam, RPG Webby, is going to come in and run a lot of us through the Spy Game. It's currently in Kickstarter. It's almost done. Please give it a look. And then check us out here on Thursday as we have some fun playing it. But games coming up. Bad Moon Rising's coming back. You'll be able to see it here as we will eventually be moving to Sunday nights with the Star Trek crew. We have a little Realms Remembered, which is my Dungeons and Dragons long form campaign, which will begin very, very soon. Be on the lookout for that. A lot of other fun things coming up, including first time announcement, a Deadlands campaign, which is going to be super duper fun, and we will be having it come up very soon as we put on the cowboy hats, which hopefully are not nearly as tight as my Q hat, which I'm pretty sure it fractured my skull at some point. So anywho, join us all next week, everyone, and this fantastic crew claps all around to this crew. And as the campfire goes down, there is only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s.